I got
that wasn't the right slide.
Oops. This is the right slide.
Yeah.
Episode. Hi, everyone. And welcome to episode number 288 of What Does This Button Do? And we're even out of costume. We thought we were ready to go. And
see, that's what happens when
see what happens?
Yeah.
Highlights, live highlights. And we're live on YouTube and on Facebook.
Yeah, today we're gonna review the newsletter that we just sent out, and we'll tell you more. But
yeah, we're an educational show about smartphones and technology, and we are Geeks on Tour. I'm Jen.
I'm Chris, and I have a quick tip for you before we even get started, and that is about Google Maps Live View. I just think this is so cool. I bring it up every now and then. We have a little video, 8:20. Walking directions. This is so cool. If you've never seen this, it just knocks your socks off. First of all, with Google Maps, you can say, I want to go to Walmart, give me directions. And you're usually talking about driving directions. If you are, which we were in London last month for a couple of weeks. We don't know London. We did a lot of walking, and we used Google Maps for walking directions. Well, if you've ever used the walking directions, when you're looking at a flat map, it can be difficult to tell exactly where and which way you're supposed to turn because it depends on which way you're facing. So this particular feature is called Live View, and it actually, you raise your phone, you look through your camera at the live view in front of you, and it puts these arrows up. Now, there is one requirement, and that is you must have an active connection, an internet connection. When we were in London, I recorded the screen on my phone to show exactly how we used it. So we're walking and navigating around London, and let's say I'm not exactly clear where I'm supposed to turn right here. So I can tap on that live button, the lower left, and lift the phone. And now it's showing me exactly. I'm seeing the live scene in front of me. There's Jim walking. And there's the light, so it's telling me it's right here. That is live view while you're in walking directions. I am curious if anyone has used those walking directions. They can be a lifesaver, the live view for walking directions.
Yeah, they sure can. Hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or your Android or any of these mobile devices? Or even the cloud? How do you learn?
Well, we are geeks, also known as propeller heads. But we are a little bit different in that we focus on teaching. We are geeks who teach. And we think the best way to learn is on a regular basis. So we put something out on YouTube every Sunday at 2 p.m. Either this close to 1 hour live show or a pre-recorded fun with photos. And then all of our content is collected on our website, and we tell you about it in our newsletter, which is what we're going to explain more today. Our website is geeksontour.com.
Okay, we have some live people here. Let's see if we can get them a little bit bigger.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Yeah.
Hello, country, Jolin. And everybody should.
And yes, so the people who get our newsletter get a reminder about today's show. And then they get another reminder an hour before. So I do usually assume that everybody is here at the beginning and is leaving comments in the chat. Probably is because they subscribe to our newsletter.
Detlef's in Chicago.
Oh.
Big game
hey,
there.
Detlef.
Santa Anita racetrack. Big race there. Shenandoah Valley. I hope you're doing well, Mead. Good to see you. Lyle. Okay.
I see Sharon up above there says that she's on her way to Simi Valley. Are you going to see the Reagan Presidential Museum?
We were just there a couple of weeks ago.
That's the one that has Air Force One indoors. It's really quite amazing. When we were full-time RVers, we made a point to go to every presidential museum all across the country. And that's one of the most remarkable ones, is the Reagan in Simi Valley, California.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Jolyn says that she didn't know about live view in maps. Cool. Well, yeah, it really, if you know your way around, there's no reason to use it. But if you are in a foreign place, it is invaluable. Just invaluable.
Absolutely. Cool. I want to mention our backstage pass. It says Zoom meeting right after this show, and it's for premium members only, so it's a great benefit of membership. You get a link that Chris sent out earlier today, or you can go to our website, geeksontour.com, and get the link there at the member login page.
That last one there, I like that.
Okay.
Terry Moore. Hello from Columbus, Ohio. Longtime watcher, recently bought a membership.
Well,
thank you.
Yes, we appreciate our premium members. You make this all possible, and we hope you take advantage of those wonderful benefits.
We hope you get value out of it. We try to make it very affordable. I mean, $60 a year is like $5 a month.
All right, go on. Keep it. Yeah. It's not a sales thing here.
Okay.
All right. Episode 288. Our newsletter.
We're going to do something slightly different today. I mean, we've been sending out a monthly newsletter since 2007.
That's almost 100 years ago.
Really. In dog years.
Easily.
In internet years, most definitely. And some people have told us how much they look forward to getting our newsletter, and they learn something every time. So we just wanted to make sure you know about our newsletters. We're going to review the current newsletter, which is for November 2024.
And we'll try and have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah. So, every month, I really am pretty proud of that. I'm the one that puts the newsletter together. I mean, he certainly helps, but I'm the one that puts it together.
I do all the work. Don't listen to her.
And I am proud of the fact that I have not missed one month. I don't think.
Sometimes it's not quite at the beginning of the
month. Right.
But
Sometimes
it's always there.
But it's always there. We have one newsletter per month since 2007. And I want to show you that page of the archives that you can find any and show you why you might want to. So I'm going to go to our website at geeksontour.com. And if you haven't been here for a while, it might look a little bit different. We asked our webmaster to update it a bit and simplify it.
It's about time.
Make the text bigger. Yeah, well, it's an old website.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and we're old, so...
Speak for yourself.
But, so it's gotten a little bit cleaner, and the font has gotten a little bit bigger, which I know I appreciate. Anyway, here you are. geeksontour.com. To find our newsletters, you go to the menu item, Blogs and News, and then Newsletters. And look at this: November, October, September, August, July, June, and it goes back and back and back all the way to 2007. In addition to just saying what month it is, I put in the topics that are covered. So Google Timeline, Panama Canal, Notebook LM, Google Photos. Don't answer that. Let's say that you scroll back and you see this one that says add text below a photo. Oh, I've always wondered if I could do that. Add text below a photo. Is it not in the control? There. Add text below a photo. So you say, I want to see more about that. Just click on it. You will go to the June 2024 newsletter, and you need to scroll through all the first sections until you get to that article about adding text to a photo. So here's a photo with text below it, text below a photo using Snapseed. I'm playing with the free Snapseed app. Read the article, including a tutorial video. So we don't put the full article in the newsletter, but we give a little introduction to it and then a link. So you read the article, how to print text below a photo using Snapseed. And it gives the steps in the article, and then there's a video. How about you play the video 7:30.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and in this video I want to show you how to add text to a border of a photo using the free Snapseed app. So I'm going to open up Snapseed. This happens to be a Samsung, but it works the same on an iPhone. And I tap the plus to open a photo. Or if you're using Google Photos, you can open the photo first and then go to Snapseed. See video number 699 on how to do that. I'm going to open this picture of Jim, and I want it to say Mr. Geek at the bottom, but I want it to be on a specific border on the bottom. To do that, I'll go to Tools and Expand. Now with Expand, you have a choice of the expanded area being black, white, or smart. I want to choose black. I drag that down, and I now have a black border. Check mark. Tools and Text. Double tap here to change text. Double tap. Now I have text to be replaced, and I type Mr. Geek and OK. Now I can move that down into the border. I like it. I tap the check mark. I export and save.
Things are so easy when you know how. And that's what I am learning all the time. And I figure when I learn something that I think is useful to me, it's probably useful to you too. So I make a little video on it. What's next? So just going back to the newsletter then. Where'd the newsletter go?
I ain't got it.
Yeah, okay. So going back to the newsletter, I'm going to have to go back to the newsletter. And November 2024. So that was just showing you how you can go back in the archives and find an article and maybe video that is of interest to you. Now for our November 2024 newsletter, oh wait, nope, there was one more thing I wanted to do. All right. Every month, so I say, I've been sending out a newsletter every month. And they've evolved.
Wake up!
They've evolved, but now I've come up with kind of a system. I'm sure it'll change again, but right now we have standard sections in every month's newsletter. We always start off with a photo. Since photos are kind of our main thing, we start off with a photo of what we've done. And then a few words about what we've been up to the previous month. The next section then is a calendar of our upcoming presentations. Then we have a section that highlights a few of the questions that our members have asked us on the Q&A page. And this is a valuable benefit of membership, that you get to ask us the questions.
It's a member of benefits.
But anybody can read the questions and answers. So that's the section. We've highlighted a few questions and answers. Then every newsletter has a couple of topics that I write an article about. 2 or 3. Sometimes I do 2 articles and then just post a video. And then there's a listing of all the recent content that's been added to the website, so you can see if anything has happened in the last month that is of interest to you. That's our monthly newsletter. Then if you do subscribe to our newsletters, all you have to do is give us your email address. You will also get a weekly email telling you what topics we're going to be covering on Sunday on YouTube, and a reminder right before it so that you don't miss it. So our November newsletter, we start with a photo of the Panama Canal because that was our trip last month. Last month we did spend nearly 3 weeks from Fort Lauderdale south through the Panama Canal and up to Los Angeles, and it was a cool trip. The next section, we have our calendar. And mostly we just mention our YouTube presentations, but we may also have some scheduled Zoom meeting presentations with computer clubs or our members only. Then there's the Ask the Geeks. And in November, our topics were Google Maps timeline. And I'll take you through that. Timeline is changing, and you might want to pay attention. Another article about how to get editable text from a newspaper clipping. And then there was the video about Google Maps Live View, which we've already shown you. Then there was a listing about recent content on the website. So let me take you to the newsletter. So here is the November 2024 newsletter. There's the picture in the Panama Canal. I really like that picture. It makes it so clear that there are 3 levels of this lock. One is going one way and the other is coming the other way. It was quite an experience to go through there. So the newsletter tells you for most of October, we were on the Viking Neptune cruise ship, starting in Fort Lauderdale, going through Panama Canal, ending in Los Angeles. And I wrote a little article. If you click the link that says here, then you'll see the article that I wrote if you want to learn a little bit more about our trip. And I have a link to the whole photo album, about 80 photos, if you want to see all of them. I was really impressed with the guest lectures. So I mentioned them, and a couple of the lecturers have their own website, so I linked there in case you might be interested. And the technology, this was a new ship, and internet was really good.
It was. We had good Starlink satellite internet as well as Viasat, so we always were connected. Sometimes it was better than other times, but we actually were able to do a couple of live presentations, and we could certainly upload videos. So it's
many of you were there for our live streaming YouTube presentation. I think we had one little glitch, but
yeah, it did drop us for a couple of seconds, but not long,
but
and it
still
came
held
right
on.
back and it stayed up. So that's very important. And yeah, we expect it to get better and better.
And then the TV in our room, number one, it replayed all of the lectures. So if you missed one live, you could just watch it in your TV. And it also gave you the ability to look at the camera out the front of the ship. This photo I just took off the TV screen. And then I used Google Photos Magic Editor to fancy it up a little bit. and then I end this article with a photo of the daily newsletter that we would get if you wanted to see just an example of what a day's set of activities were on board that ship. So that was the first section of the November newsletter. Then we go on. I have a link. You can watch our video of going through the canal and learn how we use time-lapse video and the Clipchamp video editor to make it. I'm not going to play that one now. Tutorials, community, calendar of upcoming events. Now I say this is usually just telling you that every Sunday at 2 p.m. we have something on YouTube. But sometimes there are others. On November 15th, just this last week, we gave a presentation to Deerfield Beach Computer Club. We did that over Zoom. And if you want to see the topics we covered there, the slideshow, and a link to the recording is at this link. In December, we'll have our standard YouTube shows, but we also will have one Do More with Google Photos, a Zoom meeting for members only. Registration is required. If you're interested in, if you are a premium member of Geeks on Tour, you can register for that class and we'll teach you more about Google Photos. All right, we're just going through the newsletter here. Next section is the Q&A. And Jim just goes through the Q&A that people asked the previous month. And
I pick out the best links that I think are interesting for everyone, and I put 4 or 5, usually 4 of these links, and they are the forum questions. Now, we'll talk about the forum. We've talked about it before. This is the place where you really want to ask your questions. We promise to answer your questions if you put them in the forum. If you send us an email, a lot of times it'll get lost and things get kind of messed up. But we keep a close eye on our Geeks on Tour member forum. Anyone can see the questions and answers, but only members can post to the forum. So that's another benefit of membership, obviously. Now, if you put a comment on a YouTube video that we post, we love to go in there and check those out, and we try and keep up with those. But our community, our
paid members deserve our top attention.
And that's where we think the benefits should go.
And
okay?
of these topics, I know that a lot of people have been asking about how to reorder photos in an album. So let's go take a look. I will click on the link to reorder photos in an album. And of course, this is talking about Google Photos. So here we are, reorder photos in an album. Ask your questions here. And here's the question. Can I reorder photos in an album? Can I change the orders of pictures in an album? In Google Photos, this is. Yes, here's my answer. You have the choice of sorting photos by date, earliest first, latest first, or you can drag them into your own custom order. I give the steps, but there's also a video. Let's watch video 856.
856.
How to change the sort order of the pictures within an album. 2024 April. It starts out The default sort order for albums are meant to tell a story. So it starts with the oldest photo first. I can see that this photo is from April 1, and then it goes to April 8, etc., etc. April 9. I know that these are in date order from early to late because it's supposed to tell a story. Let's say I want to change that. First, you have to tap the three dots and edit album. Now you have some tools up here. There is the sort tool. And here you have the choice between oldest first, newest first, or recently added. So if I want to see, well, what is my most recently added photo? Okay, it's these. While you are in edit mode on your album, you can also just drag and drop. I can drag this photo down here. I can drag this one all the way up to the top. So that's called a custom order. If I click the sort, you will now see custom order. If I go back to oldest first, I lose my custom order. So that is sorting photos within an album.
Yeah, there's quite the deal there.
Okay. So that's the members Q&A. So realize if you are a premium member, you can ask any question. Doesn't have to be based on something we've written or done. And I love the questions that say, do you have a video on XYZ? I mean, we have so much stuff on our website that it can be hard to find. Go ahead and ask us. We'll find it. And if it doesn't exist, we'll make it.
Yeah.
Okay. So next in the November newsletter is one of my topics, and that is your location history timeline in Google is changing. I know some of you have been dealing with this, and I've been getting the notices that my timeline is changing on December 8th. It's rolling out, so people will have different dates, but I know a lot of people have the December 8th date. So here's what you need to know. And there's an image of the message you've been getting. Google has changed its policies about timeline. It'll now be only available on your phone. You need to select some options. Whether you choose the options or not, the timeline will be gone from the web. And if you've been using timeline, so here's the key. If you have been using timeline and want to keep all your data. Now, if you're listening to this and saying, what's timeline? I don't use it. Well, then you don't have to worry. If you ever did want to use timeline, you would be starting afresh with the new rules. But let me go to the full article. And so if you're a traveler like we are, you love your Google timeline. I will show you a little bit. When I go to maps.google.com on my computer, this is before the change, and sign in and choose the option for timeline, I see a red dot. So this is what I used to see on the web. If I was looking at the map in the Eastern Hemisphere, I saw a little red dot everywhere we've been. I loved that. That's going away, period, end. But if you want to keep your history on your phone, then you need to follow these instructions. It's really quite simple. I mean, if right now you open Google Maps app on your phone, and you will see a message. To avoid losing visits, change your settings, and you click on Next. And it says, do you want to keep your settings until you delete them? That's what I think. Select Keep Until You Delete. Click Continue. And that's basically it. You're done. Here are the screenshots of exactly what you'll see. This is all in the article. Once you've done it, then you want to back up, because from now on, your timeline is only stored. Your location history is only stored on your phone. So if you lose your phone, you better have turned on the backup so that you can put it all on a new phone. Now, I want to show you a little bit of this on my phone. And I've used my Android phone, my Samsung, for this. This is a Google Maps thing. Location history timeline is a Google Maps thing. So you open up Google Maps, and here is my map. To get to timeline, you tap on the account button. That's the round button. It either has your face or your initial, and then your timeline. And notice it just comes to today. Well, today isn't very interesting. I'm just home. But I can go day by day. I can go to yesterday. I was also just home. And the day before, I was also just home. Now, the day before, we went out and took an airboat tour at Fort Lauderdale Airboat Tours. So that's pretty cool, and it tells us exactly where that was. So if I ever wanted to go back there again, I have the location of that place. Now, another thing you can do, you can see everywhere in the world that I've been, since Timeline has been recording it anyway, which is, for me, I turned it on in 2011. So this is everywhere I've been in the whole world since 2011. I love this. And it tells me 29 countries, 651 cities, Costa Rica, Panama, these are the most recent because of our cruise, Colombia, Cuba, Cayman Islands, Puerto Rico, Turkey, that was 2 years ago.
What'd you call me?
Etc., etc. There's just all tons. This is what, if your timeline has this information and you don't want to lose it, that's why you have to go through the steps that it suggests. And what's important about this? Well, let's say when we were in Hawaii in January, we went to a funky little restaurant on Oahu that was just really, really good. And I'm thinking, I want to be able to tell somebody the name of that restaurant. I don't know. I can use my timeline, tap on places, and open up the map, find Hawaii, and zoom in. And it was on Oahu. We did a circle tour of Oahu. And I think it was over in this corner. Yeah, that was it. Ono Steaks and Shrimp Shack. Yep, I recognize it. That was just so surprisingly good. And because of the way timeline works, I can find it. But I used to be able to do that on the computer. I just want to show you what happens now on the computer. If I go to Maps, Google Maps, you used to be able to click on the 3 lines and your timeline and see all that same stuff. No more. Now it just says you have to use the app. You have to use the app on your phone. So that's what's going on with Google Timeline. If you've been using it and you don't want to lose your history, open the app on your phone and just follow the instructions or read the article. Do we have any questions?
No.
Oh, well, I see Jolyn says her timeline goes back 13 years. Wow. And you hadn't looked at it before? So that's interesting. So everybody should at least go look. Open the app on your phone or on the web right now until the deadline and choose timeline and see what you see. If you see a bunch of stuff and you don't want to lose it, follow the instructions in the article. All right. Next article in the news. So I'm just back to the newsletter now. You're scrolling through the newsletter. And this, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get this via email. But we also archive them all on the website. How to get editable text from a newspaper clipping. Wow. I was feeling nostalgic as I looked at the framed newspaper clippings on the wall above my desk. It's an article from Miami Herald Business Monday in January 1993, all about the computer training business called Computer Savvy that my mom and I owned and operated. I love having that newspaper clipping, but it's getting awfully yellow and hard to read. There are many ways to get the text. If you are interested, read the article. So here is the article about how to get editable text. You take a picture of the article, and what I want is the editable text. There are several ways. One is using Google Keep, and I will demonstrate this in a minute. You open the Google Keep app, take a photo, then grab image text. Or you can use Google Photos and Lens. And we have a whole video on that, so I'm not going to demonstrate that today. You can also use a browser. Right-click on a photo and choose Search with Google Lens, and then you can copy text. What I want to demonstrate for you is the Google Keep method. So, on my phone, what do I mean? Google Keep, also known as Keep Notes. You want to make a new note and an image and take a photo. So I'm saying take a photo with the Google Keep app, not with your camera. Now, this is on a Samsung. If you have an iPhone, it looks slightly different. So you still use Google Keep, but when you tap the plus for a new note on the iPhone Google Keep app, it just goes straight to a new note. In order to take a photo, you have to tap the plus and then take photo. All right. So besides that, they're both the same. So I have this card that describes an act that we saw when we were in Ireland. And let's say I want to copy this text so that I can put it in a blog post or something. So I want to take a photo using Google Keep of this card. And I know you can't see that very well, but I'll bet you trust me that I'm taking a photo.
Don't trust her.
With Google Keep. So and now you can say, well, this was good, or I need to retake it. I'm saying this is good. Use photo. So step 1, use Google Keep to take the photo. Now the photo appears on the top and your note appears on the bottom. In order to grab the text from the photo, you need to just tap on it so that it's the only thing on the screen. Then you tap the 3 dots and grab image text. And like that, it's done. This really is so amazing, and it's very good. Now, you do have to edit it, and the biggest problem is the paragraphs because of the width of the initial article versus the width of your screen. The paragraph marks become a problem. If you know how to use Microsoft Word, you can delete the paragraph marks. And I have found in simple one-column images, if you use the Google Photos and the Google Lens, it doesn't make a paragraph mark at the end of every line. It lets them flow. But one of the 3 techniques that I give in the article will work great for you. But look at that. I just find that amazing how quick and how good it recognizes the words and make it. I mean, this is editable. I can delete the word "the" there. You know, I can change anything. I can change castles to houses. It is editable text. All right. Do we have a question?
Let's see. I give newspaper clippings to ChatGPT and asked it to transcribe it. Can I ask it then to summarize, extract data, and tell me more about it?
I'm sure. Bonnie, she's our AI and ChatGPT expert. You ask it to transcribe it. You give it a newspaper clipping, an image, a photo of a newspaper clipping to ChatGPT and ask it to transcribe it. That's great. I haven't tried that. But if you want to give it the actual text, you might want to do this first and then just give the actual text to ChatGPT. Then I'm sure it can summarize, extract data, and tell you more.
Linda's asking, my timeline is off, so it hasn't been posted. If I turn it on, will it start now?
Yes, that's exactly. And it'll be starting under the new rules. It won't be available on the web. It will only be on the phone where you turned it on.
John likes Keep. Uses it daily.
Yeah, I do too.
Is the Keep photo editable?
Keep photo? You mean like, no. Keep does not have any photo editing features like crop and enhance and color change. No. You need something like Google Photos to edit that.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Well, so that is the main articles in the November newsletter. Was about timeline and about getting editable text from an old newspaper clipping. Then there is the video on Google Maps walking directions. We already showed you that. Now there's this whole section on recent content that's been added to our website. And let's show them one. So tutorial, we made 8 new tutorial videos last month. And let's show you number 886. I think it's just great to be able to see where a photo was taken. Google Photos makes this really easy. I'm Chris Gold with Geeks on Tour, and I'm going to show you how. In Google Photos, there's 2 ways to get to the map view. One is just to open up any photo, swipe up, and you should see a map of where that photo was taken. If you tap on the map, now you're in the map view, and you can pinch and zoom in the map view, and every place that you see the little colored heat map is where there are photos. And at the bottom of the screen, you can scroll through, and they're in date order. So you see location on the top and dates on the bottom. Pretty handy. The second way of getting to the map view in Google Photos is from the menu. So I'm just back out at main Google Photos, and if you tap on Collections, there is a section for Places. Tap on Places, and the first block is the map. Tap on the map, and now you can scroll around to anywhere you want to see and see what photos are there. They show up on the bottom, and if you want to see more photos or more map, you can adjust here. What if you don't see any photo locations? Well, maybe your camera on your phone is not set to record the location where you took it. Let me show you where that is. First, on Android. On Android, you have to open the Camera app and then tap the little gear for settings and look for, in my case, this is a Samsung, and the setting is called location tags. You want that on. Some might call it geotags. Just find the setting in the camera. On the iPhone, the setting for recording the location of a photo is in your main system settings. And then it's under Privacy. And Location Services. And that must be on, but that's not all. You have to scroll down until you see Camera and make sure that it's set to while using the app. From now on, your camera will stamp your photo with the location, and you'll be able to see it on a map using Google Photos. Cool stuff.
All right. Yeah, what do you got?
I think that's about it. So are there any, I think there is a couple of questions there, or comments anyway.
Well, I think, let's see. Were the ship's lectures saved on YouTube or the presenter's site?
No, or at least not that I know of. That would be way cool. But that's why, I mean, some of the presenters had their own stuff that might have been similar. But no.
Yeah, okay. Let's see.
I think we
okay,
that one,
we did that one. All right. Mohammed, I have saved a lot of notes, but when finding notes takes a lot of time. Tell us some tips to find notes easily.
Okay.
Searching Keep Notes?
Yeah, Keep Notes. Well, first of all, it's completely searchable. You just tap search, and any word in any note you can search for. The more I use Google Keep, the more I have decided to make use of labels. So it's kind of groupings of notes under labels. So I have labels for medical history. I have labels for geek video ideas. I have labels, so I go first to my labels. But I want to just point out that we have written and done more videos about Keep. You could just go to our website, and in the search for Google Keep, and I'll betcha you'll come up with some stuff that will help answer your question. So, a home screen widget. This was a whole show we did with a guest, Michael Daniels, who is an expert in Keep. Organizing notes in Google Keep, getting started with Google Keep for note-taking and more, etc., etc. So if you just go to our website and search for Google Keep, you'll find some information about it.
A lot of information, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right. Let's see where you are.
I think we're done.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Backstage Pass. It is a Zoom meeting right after we're finished here. And right around 3 o'clock Eastern Time, get the link from an email that Chris sends out earlier today, or you can go to geeksontour.com. That's our website. Go to the member login page, and you'll find it there. Sign up for our free newsletters. These newsletters are so great, as you've probably seen here today. You can scan that QR code. That's a safe one. And it'll take you to a page where you can sign up. And it is just so easy, so informative. You'll love it. And
you will learn something new every month.
Every month, whether you want to or not. Okay, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the bell so you get notified when we go live and that kind of stuff. Like us on Facebook. I don't see any other questions, but I see where Mohammed has given us a big thumbs up. You answered his question.
Thank you.
And Jalen thinks it was a great show.
Give the video a thumbs up too, please.
Please do the subscription thing. Did you learn something? I always learn something. Google Maps Live View will show your actual surroundings through phone's camera lens. This is a feature of A, walking directions, B, search, or C, enhanced navigation.
A, walking directions.
Okay, true or false? This archive of all our monthly newsletters, all the way back to 2007, is available and free on the website geeksontour.com.
Absolutely true.
And Google Maps timeline is changing so that it's available A, only on the web, B, only on the web and on mobile, or C, only on mobile.
C, only on mobile. On one mobile device.
Yeah, it doesn't share across. And make sure that its backup is set. Which of the following cannot capture text from a photo? A, Google Keep, B, Gmail, C, Google Lens in Google Photos.
B, Gmail. At least I don't know how. There are lots of ways. I showed 3, but there are even more.
Give it a try. How can you be notified of our topic for each Sunday's YouTube show? A, check our website. B, subscribe to our newsletter. Or C, call Chris.
Yeah, he'll give you my phone number. Subscribe to our newsletter. In addition to the monthly newsletter, we send out a weekly notice about the Sunday's topic.
That sounds good to me. All right. What else do we have? Backstage Pass, we talked about that. Come in and see us on Zoom in just a few minutes, and you get the link. So, Chris, what's the webpage that lists all of our YouTube shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube shows. Now there's 2 under there, the What Does This Button Do and the Fun with Photos. Both of them show up on Sundays at 2, but the archives are separated here.
And what's the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters?
geeksontour.com, the menu item is blogs and news, and you'll find newsletters under there.
Very cool. Why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
To ask us the questions on the Q&A page, to get the backstage pass, have private Zoom meetings with us, access to hundreds of show me videos, written notes for these YouTube shows, and some people become a premium member just to say thank you for everything that we do for free.
Isn't that cool? Thank you.
We love you.
All right. That's it. Become a member at geeksontour.com/join now. And that's it for this week. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are
Geeks on Tour.
See you next time.